Let me ask you something about your morning routine. What's the first thing you do when you wake up? Do you reach for your phone? Head straight to the coffee pot? Skip breakfast and rush out the door? Most of us have morning habits we don't even think about. We've been doing the same things for years, maybe decades. They feel automatic, harmless, just part of our daily routine. But here's what many people don't realize. Some of these seemingly innocent morning habits can be silently damaging your kidneys, especially after age 60. Your kidneys are remarkable organs. Every single day, they filter about 200 quarts of blood, removing waste products and excess fluid from your body. They regulate your blood pressure, produce hormones that keep your bones strong, and maintain the delicate chemical balance your body needs to function. But after 60, your kidneys don't work quite as efficiently as they used to. According to the National Kidney Foundation, kidney function naturally declines with age. By age 70, many people have lost 30 to 40% of their kidney function compared to when they were younger. This makes your morning habits more important than ever. Let me tell you about a patient I'll call Robert. He was 68, generally healthy, and prided himself on his active lifestyle. But during a routine checkup, blood tests showed his kidney function was declining faster than expected for his age. We talked in detail about his diet, medications, and daily habits. When we got to his morning routine, Robert mentioned he always started his day with 2 large cups of coffee on an empty stomach, took his blood pressure medication immediately after, then headed to the gym for an intense workout, all before eating anything. Robert thought he was being healthy and efficient. He had no idea that this exact morning routine was putting significant stress on his kidneys. We made some simple changes to when and how he did these things, and within 3 months, his kidney function test showed improvement. Today, I'm going to walk you through 7 common morning habits that can harm your kidneys after 60, and more importantly, I'll show you exactly what to do instead. These aren't drastic changes. These are simple adjustments that can protect your kidney health for years to come. Comment below, what does your typical morning routine look like? Let's start with habit number 1. Habit number 1, not drinking water when you wake up. Most people go 6 to 8 hours without drinking anything while they sleep. You wake up dehydrated, though you might not feel it. And what do many people do? They reach for coffee, not water. Here's why this matters for your kidneys. Your kidneys need adequate water to function properly. When you're dehydrated, even mildly, your kidneys can't effectively filter waste from your blood. After 60, your body's thirst mechanism becomes less sensitive. Research published in the journal Physiology and Behavior shows that older adults often don't feel thirsty even when their bodies need water. This means you can be significantly dehydrated without realizing it. What happens to your kidneys when you skip morning hydration? Your blood becomes more concentrated with waste products overnight. Your kidneys have to work harder to filter this concentrated blood. Chronic mild dehydration can lead to kidney stones, urinary tract infections, and over time, contribute to kidney damage. If you take medications first thing in the morning without water, some drugs can be more harsh on your kidneys when your body is dehydrated. Let me tell you about Margaret. Margaret was 72 and had been experiencing recurrent kidney stones for several years. She'd had 3 painful episodes requiring emergency room visits. When I asked about her morning routine, Margaret said she never drank water in the morning. She wasn't thirsty, she said. She'd have her coffee, maybe some juice with breakfast an hour later, but plain water just didn't appeal to her early in the day. I explained that her chronic mild dehydration was likely contributing to her kidney stone formation. The concentrated urine sitting in her kidneys overnight, combined with not hydrating first thing in the morning, created the perfect conditions for stones to form. Margaret started drinking a full glass of water, 8 to 12 ounces, as soon as she woke up before her coffee or anything else. She's now gone over 2 years without a kidney stone episode. That simple change made a significant difference. What you should do instead, keep a glass or bottle of water on your nightstand. As soon as you wake up before you do anything else, drink 8 to 12 ounces of water. Wait at least 15 to 20 minutes before having your coffee or tea. This gives your kidneys the fluid they need to start filtering efficiently. If plain water doesn't appeal to you, try adding a slice of lemon or cucumber. Room temperature water if cold water bothers your stomach. Herbal tea, non-caffeinated. Make this your new non-negotiable morning habit. Your kidneys will thank you. Comment, water first, if you're going to start doing this. Habit number 2, drinking multiple cups of coffee before eating. I'm not here to tell you to give up your morning coffee. Coffee in moderation can actually have health benefits. But drinking 2, 3, or more cups of coffee on an empty stomach first thing in the morning can stress your kidneys, especially after 60. Here's why this matters. Coffee is a diuretic. It makes you urinate more. When you drink large amounts on an empty stomach, you're causing fluid loss before you've had a chance to rehydrate from the night. High caffeine intake can temporarily raise your blood pressure. Since high blood pressure is one of the leading causes of kidney damage, repeatedly spiking your blood pressure first thing every morning isn't ideal. Coffee increases the excretion of calcium and other minerals in your urine, which can contribute to kidney stone formation. On an empty stomach, coffee can cause acid production that may affect medication absorption and increase stress on your digestive system and kidneys. The research on coffee and kidney health. Studies published in the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology have found that moderate coffee consumption, 1 to 2 cups daily, appears safe for kidney health and may even have protective effects. However, excessive coffee intake, especially more than 3 to 4 cups daily, has been associated with increased risk of kidney stones and may worsen existing kidney disease. Let me tell you about David. David was 66 and started every morning with a large travel mug of coffee, easily 3 to 4 cups worth, that he'd drink on his commute before eating any breakfast. He began experiencing frequent urination, sometimes feeling dehydrated despite drinking what he thought was enough fluid, and developed his first kidney stone at age 64. When we discussed his coffee habit, David was resistant. He needed that coffee to wake up, to function, to start his day. I didn't ask him to give up coffee. I asked him to make 3 changes. Drink water first before any coffee. Limit his morning coffee to 1 to 2 cups. Have something to eat, even just a piece of toast, before or with his coffee. David made these adjustments. His hydration improved, his frequent urination decreased, and he hasn't had another kidney stone in over 3 years. What you should do instead: limit morning coffee to 1 to 2 cups. Always drink water before your coffee. Have breakfast or at least a small snack with your coffee. If you need more than 1 to 2 cups to feel alert, consider going to bed earlier to get more sleep. Having green tea as a second beverage, lower caffeine, contains beneficial antioxidants. Switching to half-calf or decaf for additional cups. Space out your coffee consumption over the morning rather than drinking it all at once. Your kidneys can handle moderate coffee intake when you're properly hydrated and not on an empty stomach. Type coffee lover if this is a habit you need to modify. Habit number 3, taking pain relievers like ibuprofen or naproxen every morning. Many people over 60 deal with chronic aches and pains, arthritis, back pain, old injuries that act up. It's common to take an over-the-counter pain reliever first thing in the morning as part of the daily routine. But regular use of NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen, Advil, Motrin, or naproxen Aleve, can seriously damage your kidneys, especially as you age. Here's why this matters. NSAIDs reduce blood flow to your kidneys. This decreased blood flow means your kidneys can't filter waste as effectively. After 60, your kidneys are already working with reduced capacity. Adding the stress of daily NSAIDs can push them over the edge. According to the National Kidney Foundation, NSAIDs are one of the leading causes of acute kidney injury in older adults. The research is clear. A study published in the Archives of Internal Medicine found that regular NSAID use significantly increases the risk of chronic kidney disease, especially in people over 65. The risk increases with higher doses, longer duration of use, pre-existing conditions like diabetes, high blood pressure, or heart disease, dehydration, taking multiple medications. Let me tell you about Eleanor. Eleanor was 74 and had been taking ibuprofen every morning for her arthritis for over 5 years. She took 400 milligrams with breakfast, sometimes another dose in the afternoon. She thought it was safe because it was over the counter and she'd been taking it for so long without problems. During a routine checkup, blood tests showed Eleanor's kidney function had declined significantly. She was in the early stages of chronic kidney disease. When we identified her daily NSAID use as a likely contributor, Eleanor was shocked. "But it's just ibuprofen," she said. "I can buy it at any drugstore." We immediately stopped her daily NSAID use and worked with her doctor to find alternative pain management strategies. Within 6 months, Eleanor's kidney function stabilized and even improved slightly. If she continued taking daily NSAIDs, she likely would have progressed to more advanced kidney disease. What you should do instead: don't take NSAIDs daily without your doctor's explicit approval and monitoring. For chronic pain management, consider alternatives. Acetaminophen, Tylenol, is generally safer for kidneys when used as directed. Physical therapy, gentle exercise like walking, swimming, or Tai Chi. Heat or cold therapy, topical pain creams. Prescription alternatives if needed. If you must take NSAIDs, use the lowest effective dose. Take them with food and plenty of water. Limit use to the shortest time needed. Have your kidney function tested regularly. Tell your doctor about all medications you're taking, including over-the-counter drugs. Never combine NSAIDs with dehydration or on an empty stomach. Many people assume that over-the-counter means completely safe. It doesn't, especially for your kidneys after 60. Comment daily pain meds if you take NSAIDs regularly. Habit number 4, starting your day with high-sodium foods. What does your typical breakfast look like? Bacon and eggs? Sausage? Deli meat? Toast with butter and salt? Cheese? Canned or packaged breakfast foods? If your morning meal is high in sodium, you're putting significant stress on your kidneys right from the start of your day. Here's why this matters. Your kidneys are responsible for regulating the sodium and fluid balance in your body. When you eat a high-salt breakfast, your kidneys have to work harder to excrete the excess sodium. This increases blood pressure and forces your kidneys to filter more aggressively. After 60, your kidneys are less efficient at handling sodium loads. Research published in the Journal of the American Society of Nephrology shows that high sodium intake is directly linked to kidney damage and faster decline in kidney function, especially in older adults. Common high-sodium breakfast culprits: bacon, sausage, ham, and other processed meats extremely high in sodium. Cheese, even small amounts, contain significant sodium. Bread and bagels, often surprisingly high in sodium. Breakfast cereals, many contain 200 to 300 milligrams per serving. Canned or packaged foods, restaurant or fast food breakfasts. Let me tell you about Frank. Frank was 69 with well-controlled high blood pressure, or so he thought. He ate what he considered a hearty breakfast every morning: scrambled eggs with cheese, 2 strips of bacon, buttered toast, and orange juice. Frank's blood pressure medication seemed to stop working as effectively. His morning blood pressure readings were higher than his evening readings, which puzzled his doctor. When we analyzed Frank's diet, his breakfast alone contained over 1,200 milligrams of sodium, more than half the recommended daily limit of 2,300 milligrams, and well over the 1,500 milligrams limit recommended for people with high blood pressure. His kidneys were being hit with a massive sodium load every single morning, causing his blood pressure to spike and putting stress on his already aging kidneys. Frank made breakfast changes: plain scrambled eggs, no cheese, turkey sausage instead of bacon, lower sodium, and whole grain toast with avocado instead of butter and salt. His morning blood pressure readings improved within 2 weeks. His kidney function tests showed improvement over the next 3 months. What you should do instead: aim for a breakfast with less than 300 to 400 milligrams of sodium. Read labels carefully. Sodium hides in surprising places. Choose fresh, whole foods over processed options. Fresh eggs without added cheese or processed meats. Oatmeal with fruit and nuts. Plain Greek yogurt with berries. Whole grain toast with avocado or natural nut butter. Fresh fruit smoothies. If you must have meat, choose fresh chicken or turkey, not deli meat. Low sodium options. Smaller portions. Avoid adding extra salt to your food. Use herbs and spices for flavor instead of salt. The American Heart Association recommends limiting sodium to 1,500 milligrams per day for adults over 50, especially those with high blood pressure or kidney disease. Starting your day with a low-sodium breakfast sets a positive tone for your entire day and gives your kidneys a break. Type high-salt breakfast if you're realizing your morning meal is too salty. Habit number 5, not eating breakfast at all. Some people skip breakfast thinking they're being healthy. Intermittent fasting is popular right now. Others skip it because they're not hungry in the morning or they're rushing out the door. But regularly skipping breakfast can negatively affect your kidney health, especially if you're taking medications that should be taken with food. Here's why this matters. If you take medications on an empty stomach when they should be taken with food, some drugs can be more concentrated in your bloodstream and harder on your kidneys. Many blood pressure medications, diabetes medications, and others are meant to be taken with food for a reason. Skipping breakfast can lead to blood sugar fluctuations that stress your kidneys over time, especially if you have diabetes or prediabetes. Extended fasting periods can lead to dehydration and electrolyte imbalances that your aging kidneys struggle to manage. The research on breakfast and kidney health. Studies published in Nutrients Journal have found that people who regularly skip breakfast have higher rates of hypertension, diabetes, and metabolic syndrome, all major risk factors for kidney disease. Let me tell you about Susan. Susan was 71 and never ate breakfast. She took her blood pressure medication and diabetes medication with just a sip of water first thing in the morning, then didn't eat until lunch. Susan started experiencing frequent episodes of dizziness in the morning, and her kidney function tests were showing decline. Her doctor discovered that taking her medications without food was causing her blood pressure and blood sugar to drop too low in the mornings, then spike later. This yo-yo effect was stressing her kidneys. When Susan started eating a small, balanced breakfast before taking her medications, her morning dizziness disappeared and her kidney function stabilized. What you should do instead: eat something within an hour of waking up, even if it's small. If you take medications, check with your doctor or pharmacist about whether they should be taken with food. A kidney-friendly breakfast doesn't have to be large. A small bowl of oatmeal with berries, Greek yogurt with nuts, a piece of whole grain toast with avocado, a banana, and a handful of almonds. If you're doing intermittent fasting, talk to your doctor about whether it's appropriate for you, especially if you have kidney disease, diabetes, or take multiple medications. Your kidneys function best when you maintain stable blood sugar, blood pressure, and hydration throughout the day. Breakfast is part of that stability. Comment breakfast skipper if this is you. Habit number 6, jumping into intense exercise on an empty stomach without hydration. Exercise is wonderful for your overall health, including your kidneys. But the timing and intensity matter, especially after 60. Going straight from bed to an intense workout without eating or hydrating can stress your kidneys. Here's why this matters. Intense exercise temporarily reduces blood flow to your kidneys because blood is redirected to your working muscles. If you're already dehydrated from sleeping and you haven't eaten anything to stabilize your blood sugar, you're creating a perfect storm of kidney stress. High-intensity exercise causes muscle breakdown that releases protein into your bloodstream that your kidneys must filter. When you're dehydrated, your kidneys have to work much harder to filter these waste products. What you should do instead: drink water before your morning workout, at least 8 to 12 ounces. Eat a small snack if you're doing intense or prolonged exercise. A banana, a piece of toast, a few crackers, anything to give your body some fuel. Warm up gradually rather than jumping into intense activity. After exercise, rehydrate well. If you take medications before exercise, make sure you're following your doctor's instructions about timing and food. Let me tell you about George. George was 67 and prided himself on his morning workout routine. Every day at 6 a.m., he'd go straight from bed to a high-intensity interval training class at his gym, exercising hard for 45 minutes on an empty stomach with no water. George started experiencing severe muscle cramps and noticed his urine was very dark after workouts. Blood tests showed elevated levels of creatinine and protein in his urine, signs of kidney stress. His doctor explained that George's intense exercise routine, combined with dehydration and fasting, was overwhelming his kidneys' ability to filter the waste products from muscle breakdown. George made simple changes: drinking water before exercise, eating a banana, and reducing the intensity slightly. His kidney markers returned to normal within a few weeks. Exercise is excellent for kidney health, but it needs to be done thoughtfully, especially after 60. Habit number 7. Holding your urine because you're busy with your morning routine. Many people rush through their morning routine and ignore the urge to urinate because they're busy getting ready, making breakfast, or rushing out the door. This seems minor, but regularly holding your urine can harm your kidneys and urinary tract. Here's why this matters. When you consistently hold urine for long periods, you're allowing bacteria to multiply in your bladder, increasing infection risk. Urinary tract infections in older adults can quickly spread to the kidneys, causing serious kidney infections. Chronic urine retention can weaken bladder muscles and eventually affect kidney function. What you should do instead: when you feel the urge to urinate, go. Don't delay. This is especially important first thing in the morning when your bladder has filled overnight. Empty your bladder completely, don't rush. If you have difficulty fully emptying your bladder, talk to your doctor. Comment morning routine if you're going to make changes to protect your kidneys. Let's recap the 7 morning habits that can harm your kidneys after 60. Habit 1. Not drinking water when you wake up. Habit 2. Drinking too much coffee on an empty stomach. Habit 3. Taking NSAIDs regularly. Habit 4. Eating a high-salt breakfast. Habit 5. Skipping breakfast entirely. Habit 6. Intense exercise without proper preparation. Habit 7. Holding your urine during your morning routine. The good news: all of these habits are within your control. You don't need medications or medical procedures to fix them. You just need awareness and a willingness to make small adjustments to your morning routine. Your kidneys are doing critical work every single day to keep you healthy. After 60, they need a little extra care and consideration. Robert's story that I mentioned at the beginning had a happy ending because we caught his habits early and made changes. Margaret stopped getting kidney stones. David's kidney function improved. Eleanor prevented further kidney damage. All of these people made simple morning habit changes that protected their kidney health. You can do the same. Comment below, which of these 7 habits do you need to change? Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and share it with friends or family members over 60 who might benefit. Subscribe to this channel for more practical health information that can make a real difference in your life. Your kidneys work hard for you. Return the favor by starting your day with habits that support them, not stress them. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next video.